So this video is going to be a quick review of the Kokuyo Campus High Grade Mio Paper Notebook. Kokuyo makes a lot of notebooks. The Campus is probably their most popular line. It's sort of a affordable set of notebooks for students, but the High Grade is the most expensive of the Campus notebooks. It uses that high-end Mio, it's M-I-O paper, and it has some nice features like this stylized cover and this cool silver binding that kind of set it apart from the other notebooks. It's still very affordable. This A5 is only about $5 or $6 depending on where you get it. So I just want to do a quick run through. This is a pretty cool notebook, and like I said, it's $6 for an 80 sheet notebook. It's a nice pickup. Good looking cover, a little bit of style, but nothing crazy. Pretty muted overall. You see it has red highlights and then some basic specs. So it's 210 by 148, which is an A5 size, 7mm ruled, so it's like a college ruled, I guess. 24 lines, so pretty standard. And then 80 sheets. You can see it has Mio paper, which is kind of an upgrade. And then on the side, it has this silver binding. And this is sort of like, it's not stitched, but you could see it has, it's like a cloth binding. It is not, it's obviously a soft cover, as you could tell, and the binding is not super strong. I already bent it once. Not that bad, but it will bend if you're not careful with it. It doesn't really seem to affect the performance of the notebook. So, like I said, Kokuyo logo's there, and there's a little stamp thing. I'm not sure what that means. Very cool. Not too much on the back cover. Inside the notebook, we see again Mio paper, which is the kind of higher end paper here, and that stands for Mobile Ideal Original Writing Paper. Not really sure if that's a company or a type of paper from Kokuyo or what, but there you have it. The cover is cardstock, kind of nothing too fancy on the soft side. I don't know how well it's gonna stand up. It'll definitely rip if you're not careful with it. The paper is 60 grams per square meter. So I would say a lighter paper. It's fairly resistant to different inks, but you can see it will mark. 60 grams is not a very heavy paper. So usually if for a nicer notebook, you're looking in the 70 to 90 gram paper. Like a 90 is a nice heavy piece of paper, but it will get expensive. So in the 70, 80 range, 60, like I said, is on the light side. And depending on how the paper is coated, that's going to determine whether you could write on both sides or not. The notebook itself, it's in Japanese, and most of the lettering, most of the writing on the inside, as we've seen, is in Japanese, but some of it is definitely in English. And then it's nice that the page number and date are in English. The lines are, I would say, like a bluish gray, maybe a greenish, more gray than anything though. And we see number, so like page number, date with the separators. And then we have a title line, which is little, again, letter separated, which is kind of cool. And then the standard lines. And that's kind of it for the notebook. The only other thing I would note about it is that it uses archival quality paper. So this is pH balanced, acid free, and all that. So if you do take notes and you tend to leave your notebooks on a shelf or whatever, if you come back in a couple of years, it should be all good. I did some quick writing with it. This was, I don't know, a couple days ago. And this is with a broad fountain pen. I just wanted to see for bleed through, and then just a ballpoint. And you could see some bleed through, or some show through, I wouldn't call it bleed through. Some show through, but nothing prohibitive. You could write on the other side of this without a problem. As for the paper, like I said, it's definitely on the smooth side, but it's not too smooth for a fountain pen. So this is the Kokuyo High Grade in the Campus line. So like I said, the Campus is their affordable set of student lines, student notebooks, and the High Grade is the highest end. So you can see you know, a little bit of it comes through, but really not that bad. And it looks way worse here than it does when you're actually writing. So if we go over here and we write, just scribble a little bit, you can see the contrast now. Some of it's coming through. It's a lighter paper, but not too bad. The paper is a little bit ink resistant. So if you write with a fountain pen, this is a Platinum 3776 in a broad. So this is a you could see from the shine there, or maybe you can't quite make it out. Some of this is definitely staying wet. It's not immediately sinking into the paper. And this is what, maybe 15, 20 seconds later, I could tell that it's wet and it will smear a little bit, but not that bad. And again, this is with a broad, so kind of like a European medium. That's on the heavy side for note taking. So I would definitely say this is a good fountain pen paper, but maybe not the best. You know, a broad, like I said, that's heavier than you would generally use for note taking. So I actually really like this notebook. The paper's a little bit smooth for me. I generally want a little bit more texture from what I'm writing on for notes, but just for scribbling something, have around, I like soft covers for like that, and I really like the $6 price point. When you compare it to the standard Campus, this is the recycled one. This one sells for, it's 30 sheets instead of 80, so it's smaller, but this one only sells for about $2. And this one uses lighter weight paper, has no polish on the paper or no coating, so it's not as good with fountain pens, but you see a little bit quicker drying time. I definitely like the Mio more, so I would recommend getting the high grade for the extra $2 and the extra sheets. It's a nicer notebook and it's worth the pretty minimal amount of money over the standard. But I like all the Campus series, so definitely worth checking out if you're not familiar with them. Like I said, the Mio, high grade, not my favorite paper, but a great notebook and a really good bargain. Thanks for watching.